Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christine Ball. I'm the Executive Director at Durham Sustainability. Thank you so much for coming out today. For those of you who are not familiar with DSA, we are an environmental nonprofit working with businesses in Durham region to help them reduce costs and their environmental footprint through conservation initiatives. We're so happy you decided to come out on this beautiful afternoon, thank goodness it cleared up, to help us clean up one of the beautiful green spaces in our community. I'd like to hand it over to Natalie Pacheco, Chief Executive Officer at the Whitby Chamber of Commerce, to tell you about how this idea came about.
Thank you. Hi everyone, and thank you for coming. It's such a beautiful day. I just wanted to start off and give you a little bit of history as how this came about. We had a very passionate member of the Whitby Chamber of Commerce. His name is Andrew, and he's from Skyview Electronics, and he was in the offices probably a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks after I'd started. And he talked about how important Lynde Creek was. He talked about its history. He talked about his passion for taking kids in the outdoors and fishing in the outdoors, and realized how filthy dirty and we should be embarrassed as a community to have such a beautiful space littered. And a couple weeks after that, I met with Christine, and we talked about a strategy in terms of how the Whitby Chamber of Commerce could help businesses be more sustainable. And Durham Sustainability was sitting in my office, and I had an aha moment, which was, we've got a great member and we've got a great strategic partner. Maybe we could work together and create an event. And without all of you, this event wouldn't have been possible. So thank you very much for coming. I have a couple of things that I need to do as the CEO in her rubber boots, which is the best thing ever. Is to thank not just the folks who helped, but actually name some by name and by company. I'd like to say thank you to Skyview, because they're not only the inspiration behind this event, but they're also our sponsor. I'd like to thank Durham Sustainability, because not only did they support us, they actually brought other partners in and negotiated some things for us, so it made the day far more fun and exciting. I wanted to do a shout out to our board members. We have 3 here actually. Our board members are Kyle Patterson, Kevin Bath, and Brandon McBride. Woo. Yay! And before I finish my comments, I did want to say thank you and invite Rhonda Mulcahy. She's our counselor here. It's Ward 1, number 1, to come over and say a few words. So if you don't mind.
So thank you for having me here today, and I just want to, on behalf of the Mayor and all of Whitby Council, I want to say thank you to all of you for coming out and participating in such a great event. Kinsman Park has been here for a long time, and I know that some of you said I didn't even know this was here, and it's a beautiful little spot. I know our scouts are very active in this area, and they clean this up every spring in this immediate area for Pitch and Brooklyn. But I know that they don't get down into the creek because they are kids. So it's great to have some adults here to share the load. And this is a wonderful example of a partnership. Christine and Natalie and Andrew coming together with a great idea. And this is a great afternoon to go achieve what we want to do today. So thanks so much.
Thank you. So some quick thank yous. I wanted to thank Jean from EV Fern for supplying the battery storage for the AV equipment. Therefore, it is not plugged in. We are not using power. This is all self-sustaining equipment we're using for this event. The town of Whitby for providing us with all our cleaning supplies. So you will get gloves and you will get bags, and we will have an objective to set. The Durham region for the water bottles that you've received upon arrival. And to Fran from Frantastic for coming out with a fantastic food truck and making sure we have some sustenance in our bodies before we go out. And last but not least, Better Go Getter. Our last minute helpers, which are there they are, fantastic, thank you, because they're actually going to pick up the garbage from our deposit site and bring it back here. So there is one last thing I want to say, is to again thank the idea man and introduce him, because the stuff he's going to tell you about is very important, because it helps you win some prizes and will tell us where to go without being lost. Please, please, please make sure before you leave this place that you sign our waivers, because we should all be safe and conscious of safety. Thank you very much. Andrew, it's all yours.
So I just want to start with saying thank you from everybody, or from me to you guys, for being here. This was a dream that I had a while ago, and I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of my personal perspective on this and how it came to be. I'm a new businessman in the community. It's an endeavor I've been working on for about 12 months now, and the Whitby Chamber's been really instrumental in helping me develop. And something really key happened to me about 9 months ago. I was at a chamber event called the Java Jolt, and it's where business leaders all get together at Lotus Interiors, and we sort of help each other out with what's going on, and it's like a think tank. And Skyview's been here for 32 years, and I was the new guy, and I introduced myself to the group, and I was like, I'm Andrew from Skyview Electronics, and then I just saw like 20 blank faces. And I'm like, it's 2 blocks away, right downtown. And everyone was like, well, I didn't know you guys existed. So I realized that we're not doing a very good job at being a part of the community. So this event, I'm going to be the owner of Skyview this year. I'm purchasing it from my dad, and this sparks a new endeavor for me and the company that shows that we love this community and we're a part of it. So thank you. And then the other thing I want to talk about is I'm an avid hiker and a mountaineer as a hobby. So I took my nephew here about 6 months ago. And he's 10 years old, his name's Isaiah, and there was a lot of garbage in the creek, and I was like at a loss for words with telling Isaiah, like, this happens, I don't know what to say, and normally I would have walked away, and the further I got from the creek, the desire to actually do something about it would have got further for me as well. But I've been doing some development stuff, and a quote I remembered was, if not me, who? And if not now, when? So I decided to just use the power of word and talk to as many people as I could. So the next thing you know, I'm having a meeting with Heather from the chamber. I was talking about it in the Java Jolt, and then Heather passed it on to Natalie, and then Natalie got a hold of Christine from Durham Sustainability, and then I'm like in this meeting at the chamber and with all these incredible women. And the meeting went so well that I was like, okay, so my responsibilities now are to just watch you guys do all the work. This is awesome. So then you fast forward to today, and there's more people here than I could ever have imagined. And if you guys ever wonder what making a difference in the world looks like, I'd like you all to look around at each other and give everybody a round of applause. So thank you. Oh, and I turned the mic off. And then I'll just do a little brief history about the creek. So the Lynde Creek's actually a really important watershed system, so much so that if it didn't exist where it is, Brooklyn and Whitby probably wouldn't exist where they are either. They did some archaeological digs about 10,000 years ago here in the 90s, and they realized that, in the 90s, and they realized that people were using this watershed system 10,000 years ago. I hope that came across properly. So it's been used for a long time, and then in about the 1800s, settlers started showing up here, and the creek had a lot of different names, and they eventually settled on this guy named Jabez Lynde, which inspired the name of the creek and the name of my firstborn child, Jabez. I love that name. So I realized that his name is actually pronounced Lynde, and we've all been, and you all realize that like creeks can also be called brooks, which then gave the inspiration for the town. Brooklyn? Yes? No one? Yes, okay. So yeah, that happened, and then the creek, there was, at one point there was 7 mills along the banks of the creek that provided a lot of grain and oats and stuff, and they would send it all the way down to Lake Ontario, and it was shipped internationally. So the start of this whole community really existed because of this same creek. And even though we don't use it in the same capacity that people once did, I heard a really cool quote while I was doing my research for this, and it was, what we do on the land is mirrored in the water. So when you guys are out there today cleaning up the creek, I'd like you to think about that and think about what you do on the land and how you could reflect more positively on the world that we live in. So thank you very much. So I'm just going to go over a couple like key points here that I'm going to kind of read right from the paper. So we are going to have gloves and bags provided. The black bags are for garbage, and the bags that aren't black are for recycling. There's a first aid kit that is located at this booth over here. Please, if there's any young children, make sure that they're supervised. Watch your footing. It rained last night, so the trail here is a little bit slippery along the way. And then any like bio waste or broken glass and stuff, just be careful. Like, one thing that we don't want to have happening is people like hurting themselves or cutting themselves. If you don't feel safe, don't do it. Any stuff that's like really large and heavy, like, don't hurt your backs here. If you find any wildlife out there, when I was here, like, we saw some beavers and a muskrat and some fish and stuff, so just let those guys do their thing. Any litter that's like part of nests or something, just leave it be as well. The animals could be just using it. And then we also have these forms here from the Great Canadian Cleanup. So we'd like you guys to kind of split up into teams, and we've got about 10 of these forms, so we kind of need 10 teams from the total amount of people that are here. And we're going to have to keep track of the garbage that we collect as best we can. So if we could, right after this, do that quickly, kind of form up into some groups, and then you'll each get one of these, and we'll kind of have like a person collecting the garbage, a person holding the bag, and a person being like marking off what you're finding. Please bring those in at the end when you guys are done. And then I'm going to take us from here. We're going to start, there's a trailhead just over here. I'm going to lead us. There's not a ton of garbage in this area, but we're going to head right over to Way and Carnwith area, and that's kind of where the majority of it is. And I imagine most of the garbage pickup's going to be happening. So I'll take us all there, and then we can sort of grab what you find along the way, and then you can sort of split off and start doing your thing. There's going to be a way station at Carnwith and Way, and then when you guys bring the garbage bags you've collected to that point, they'll take it from you so you can have some hands-free. And you also get some raffle tickets. I got some prizes from some awesome local businesses from the Goodberry, CIBC, Mystic Moon donated a prize, Baldwin Burger, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. Well, yeah, Moksha Yoga also gave a prize. So we're going to be giving those away at the end. So the more garbage you collect, the better your chance is of getting a prize. Yeah, any questions? Oh yeah, and then try to be back here, head back around 3 o'clock. So if you guys can arrange that, we're going to try to do the prizing at that time. I know it's not a ton of time, but if we just do this quick, we can try to get as much as we can. Okay? Good?